Hello everyone, welcome to this week's Hangout at the Plllai Center. Very special message today. We had a whole plan of what this Hangout would be like. Mohini was going to tell us all about the retreat that was happening soon in Florida. And when I spoke to her this morning, she said there's a message from the goddess that is coming through her to all of you and to all of us. And I know I can't wait to hear what that is. So we've scrapped everything and we're going with whatever the goddess has to say as her message. So Mohini, thank you so much for joining us. And we would love to hear more about this divine feminine energy that is uprising and what the goddess has to say to all of us and how we can use it.
Thank you. That's a very beautiful introduction and very appropriate because that's exactly what I was going to say. So yes, this morning, everyone, I woke up and all of a sudden the goddess told me what she wanted to share with all of you today. So I'm very happy to be the channel here today, and I will do it to the best of my ability. So the goddess has been showing me throughout this past year that an entirely new era of goddess consciousness is coming upon the earth plane. And recently, she's been showing me that Navaratri will be the starting point. And this starting point is something which is something, it hasn't been seen in the world before. This new era of goddess consciousness will be something completely new to the earth plane, to the universe, to the cosmos. Yes, at the beginning of time, the goddess and matriarchal energy was really the focal point of religion and worship in people's lives. But as we changed throughout time, the patriarchal energy took over, and that had its place as well. And now the goddess energy is coming back in an entirely new way. In antiquity, she was worshipped in a certain way, she was perceived in a certain way, and she impacted your life in a certain way. But now we're in modern day time, and we're in the golden age. The golden age is the culmination of all the evolution that has happened on the planet so far. So in the golden age, we are going to marry the ancient energy of the goddess, who has been here since the beginning of time, and we're going to marry that to this modern day world that needs the goddess so desperately. Because we all know that when we look around us and we read news stories of greed and anger and violence, all this needs profound healing energy. And Dr. Pillai said a few years ago that if the goddess just took charge of this world, that her motherly love could heal every single sickness on this planet. Sickness not only of the body, but sickness of the mind and sickness of the soul. So that has been building and building. Momentum has been building, and I've been feeling it in the past year. I had a personal awakening myself, where last year at Navaratri, Dr. Pillai told us that the greatest thing you could want in your life, in order to change your life, is to be abducted by the goddess. And many of you heard my story on other Hangouts where I explained how, yes, that night when Dr. Pillai said that, I thought that would be fantastic. And it happened. It happened because I was open to it. And he opened a portal. And he initiated us into the goddess portal. All I had to do was open myself, and she literally grabbed me by the hand, brought me into her realm, and taught me exactly what I needed to know, and she laid the foundation for a profound relationship with me that's been going on for the past year. So, the goddess knows how to change this world. She knows how to change you. She knows how to change every aspect of your life. And the goddess is 100% embracing, accepting, and allowing. She's allowing you to be on your path and to be whoever you are, and all you have to do is open your doors. If you open your doors to her, then your participation in this new era of goddess consciousness will be tremendously profound, not only for you, but for what you have come to do in this world. So to me, this new era of goddess consciousness looks like a three-step process in terms of our participation. It is beginning, at Navaratri time. And the first step is to open our doors. Now that may sound simple, but I have witnessed in my own journey over the past year, I thought my doors were open to the goddess. And in fact, many of you know that informally I've been teaching on goddess consciousness for the past 20 years. However, after the goddess abducted me and brought me to her realm, then I saw about a few months later that actually, as a child, due to some key experiences with women in my life, I had made a very strong decision to shut my doors to the goddess. And that unevolved part of me had actually been still in that position of closure where my doors were not open. I didn't even see that until about 6 months ago, and that was pointed out to me by a loving friend in my life. Once I was able to identify that, then everything happened at lightning speed. And since then, the goddess has been able to show me so many more things, understandings that come instantaneously, but far more than that. Other than entering her realm with her, now that realm has opened within me, and day by day, she's showing me new places in this beautiful goddess realm that exists within me and exists within all of us. And so now she's been walking me through a journey of all the various parts and realms and locations of goddess consciousness within me and opening them up, and she does everything. So the first step was that in order to open my doors, I had to understand that I truly had closed my doors to the goddess. And I'd like to tell the story about how another person that I know very dearly has recently also opened up his doors to the goddess. So recently I was traveling around the world, and I was staying with someone, and I entered this person's bedroom, and all of a sudden it hit me. He has shut the goddess out of his life. I could see it by his room, by his energy. When I suggested this to him, he was 100% open and said, "You're right. I have shut the goddess out of my life. And it has impacted every area of my life." And so we had a talk that day, and I said, you know, all you have to do is invite her, because the goddess is the eternal mother of love. She is waiting for you. She will embrace you the moment that you just invite her. She needs to be invited, because feminine energy is an energy that needs to be invited. So I said, you know, tonight you could just go deep within your heart and make a profound and simple invitation to the goddess. Enter my life. So I saw him the next day, and he told me a very humorous story. He said that when he went to bed that night, he was very tired because he'd been working late. And when he laid down, he said, "Okay, goddess, you know, I'm really tired here, and I don't have a lot of energy. However, I really do want you to come into my life." So that night, he awoke early in the morning, and he saw a beautiful gold light entering a corner of his room. And as he watched this gold light, he entered a state of trance that wasn't a dream state, but it could have been the fourth dimension or the fifth dimension. And in that dimension, he walked downstairs, and he opened up the doors of his home, and in marched a very beautiful, powerful, ferocious, loving goddess. And she entered with her attendants with her. And it was very obvious that she had come to do her work. And she gave him a look like, "Okay, you're a piece of work, but I'm here now, and I'm going to take charge." And she literally entered the house, and she is now presiding in that house. And he was talking about how the mixture of her beauty, her power, and her ferociousness was something so compelling to him, because he needed that in his life. He needed the goddess to come and take charge of his life. And so when he told me the story, he was so excited that he only had to say to her just once, "I'm really tired tonight, but would you please enter my life?" And she did, in a very profound way. So that's how it can happen. But the first step to open your doors is to realize maybe your doors have been closed. And there are so many doors in this progression of allowing the goddess into your life. So for me, I thought I had my doors opened, and I did. But there is a series of doors. And as you move down that pathway, I've been seeing that as you progressively become opening door after door after door to the goddess, then she enters your life more and more profoundly until she gets to the very core of your being, where she and you merge. She takes her seat in your heart, and from that point on, she knows exactly what to do. Many of you were around when Dr. Pillai brought in the grace light. And he talked about the fact that the grace light, Arul, is really the feminine energy of the goddess. And if you just accept grace light into your life, grace light knows exactly what to do. Grace light knows where you need to be healed. Grace light knows what relationships that you need to work on in your life and open them up to expansive love. Grace light knows that you need job opportunities. Grace light knows everything. So that is the energy of the goddess. If you open your doors to her, make a simple invitation, she will enter your life in a very profound way, and she knows what to do. And you and her merge, because she is really you. As Dr. Pillai says, every woman is the living embodiment of the goddess. They are literally the goddess. And every man has an inner female. And that's why men can be so powerful in their accomplishments in the world, because it's the Shakti within them, which is doing everything. So the last step in this process of you participating in Goddess consciousness is that you need to become initiated. And you need to become initiated by a master that has the power to truly initiate you. So initiation is like a spectrum. There are initiations that are very simply given by masters of certain powers. And then as you approach the top of the spectrum, there are masters that have the full and complete power to totally transmit to you their own extremely evolved spiritual energy. Now, Dr. Pillai is a master of the highest order. When he gives an initiation, it is not simply just giving the password of the goddess, which is her sound, or maybe it's her light form in a yantra or a mandala, or gazing at her form. Dr. Pillai will give you the password, but he also has the ability, because he's a fully realized master of the highest order, in order to directly transmit his goddess consciousness to you and place that within your being. And that will germinate and grow and blossom into you literally living as the goddess with her full power in this world. And that is what is going to make a difference in this world. I often tell women that all of you, you are all a goddess, just like Lakshmi, just like Parvati, just like Saraswati. You have your own archetypal being, and you are the only person who has come in order to give the world your particular gifts. Can you imagine a world without Isis, or without Lakshmi, or without any of these powerful goddesses who have come in order to wield their beautiful weapons of love in order to change the world and to give you gifts in your life? So just like that, we are calling upon every woman and every man. Men, you all have an inner female. And you also have come in this world in order to give your own archetypal goddess back to the world in terms of your own unique gifts and powers. And that is how the Golden Age is going to come about. It's going to come about through all of us participating in this new era of goddess consciousness, where our participation is key, because the impact on your life personally and the impact on the planet is determined by how much you participate. So this morning, the goddess showed me this very simple 3-step process. Open your doors, invite her, become initiated, and then everything can happen. It's total magic. And that is basically the message I got today, Jayavada.
Wow. Well, thank you so much. That's certainly different. I know that you have been teaching goddess consciousness for many, many years now, and I've been able to receive some of those teachings from you. So this, just to hear and feel this message coming through you from the goddess feels incredibly authentic. And it's very exciting that this message is coming, that Navaratri is here in just a few weeks from now. It is the time to access the goddess, so we have everything we need laid out right before us. And your part 3, the initiation, so if I work through kind of what we're talking about here, part 1 we can do at home, step 1. Step 2 we can do at home, and step 3 we really need that initiation from Dr. Plllai as a master. And how can we go about doing that? I know there's the retreat, and if folks can't come to the retreat, we are, I just checked with Dr. Plllai actually this morning to have some phone calls on the on those nights, special nights, during this powerful time, and he has agreed. So it's very exciting that we'll all be able to now participate in the magic of the retreat on some level. So, but I know you have been there in that location. You have experienced the power and beauty of Florida, and it has, it has a reputation of vacation spots, sometimes party places, Miami retirement locations. But I know you have a different perspective. Can you tell us a bit about what Florida has meant to you? What you've witnessed?
Yes, definitely. This has been actually a very key part of my journey into goddess consciousness, is that when I also heard about Florida, I thought, okay, Miami Beach, and everyone wears swimsuits and suntans, and that's what Florida is. But I came here for the first time in June with Dr. Pillai, and at that first visit, immediately I was hit by the fact that Florida is truly Shangri-La. It is like the embodiment of perfection. Now, of course, I love tropical weather. I've been living in Asia, Singapore. So Florida, to me, is, because it has that tropical beauty, much more than that, what I feel in Florida is that the energy of the goddess is pulsating and vibrating everywhere. In Florida, the air has that gentle, caressing, nurturing feeling of the goddess. And there's so much water here. Water is the goddess, and the water embraces you everywhere in Florida. The sunshine here, even though it is intense, to me, I don't feel it as strong at all. To me, when I feel the sunshine on my skin, I feel like I've been kissed by the goddess. So this was my feeling when I even exited the airport, and I really experienced the energy of Florida. But what came clear to me is that we had the opportunity to go to the island of Bimini in the group of islands called the Bahamas. And we were going there in order to explore Bimini as a possible place in order to bring all of you to have a Navaratri seminar with Dr. Pillai. However, when we went to Bimini, yes, Atlantean energies are there, and there are many sites that hold that energy. And when I was in Bimini, I did have some profound connections and experiences with some beings that came to me. However, in Bimini, there is also a kind of poverty which is actually much harsher than anything I've experienced in the third world. And that poverty was so harsh that for me, it really canceled out the beautiful energy of Bimini. And when I came back to Florida, I thought, what is it about Florida that still has that surreal, beautiful goddess inviting magical energy? And then I realized it's so close to Bimini in the Bahamas. Florida must have that Atlantean energy of ancient wisdom which arises from just being on this land. So as I let that settle into my consciousness, then every day I actually feel the vortex of Florida speaking to me and teaching me secrets. Because like India, the land is the goddess. It's the mother goddess. And as she holds you, she will speak to you and communicate to you. And then I've been talking to other people here in Florida, and it's been known that why do elderly people want to retire in Florida? Because they really feel that they live longer. And yes, it's easy to see if you're in a country where you can't leave your house during the winter and you have to put on 5 layers of clothes just to go outside and do so much just to get through the day. It's like you're not accepting rejuvenating energy in every moment because you're kind of fighting against the elements. But here in Florida, all that, the warmth and the beauty and that rejuvenating energy is embracing you in every moment, and you're allowing it, because in tropical cultures, I find that people really relax, and they completely let down their guards, and they let the tropical environment really embrace them. So in an email yesterday, someone said to me, Mohini, I hope that you're enjoying Florida, the fountain of youth. I said, yes, that is it. Florida is the fountain of youth. And when we were at Bimini, we went to a place that was marked as the place where Ponce de Leon discovered the fountain of youth. And when I sat there, I thought, okay, this is it's a beautiful concept, and I'm sure it's very nearby, but it must be something much bigger than just that place, which was a well and a bench sitting next to it. So now I understand that that Atlantean energy of eternal youth and rejuvenation and healing is in all of Florida. And even more specifically, 2 lovely ladies here felt the call in order to choose a place for our retreat that is literally like the sanctum sanctorum of the goddess. A lot of you have seen a letter that I wrote with pictures, and that was featured in the Plllai Center newsletter on Friday. I first went to this place only this week myself. And when I entered, I thought, yes, this is it. This is the sanctum sanctorum. Who couldn't feel the goddess in this place? Because in a retreat of this nature, where Dr. Pillai will be calling the goddess to us, and it is very easy for Dr. Pillai to bring the goddess. He can do it in any setting. However, the goddess has selected this place as the place of our Navratri retreat. And why? Because Florida is the fountain of youth, and this hotel is really the seat of the goddess. Everything about the hotel felt like the goddess to me. And when we entered the spa, and they said, you must come and see our ritual baths. And I thought, what is that, ritual baths? That sounds fantastic, because we do rituals. And when I entered the ritual baths, I thought, yes, they have been communicated with by the goddess that they need to create this hotel such that when people enter the hotel, there is an opportunity for them to have a very profound opening to the goddess. Now, it can happen being in that hotel, but how much more profound would it be that this is going to be happening during the 9 nights of Navaratri, which, as Dr. Pillai said, these are the 9 nights when the goddess comes down to the earth plane, and she is present, and she is tangible and very powerful. So during the right time, the goddess has told us that this is the right place, not only Florida, but at this resort. This is the place for all of us to relax and completely open up our doors, invite the goddess, and move through a very profound initiation with Dr. Pillai, where he can easily merge you and the goddess as one and the same. And then her magic work can impact every area of your life in a very effortless way. So that was my experience of being at the resort, and something that I wanted to communicate to all of you, because those of you that have the time and you have the finances available, yes, I definitely encourage you to take this opportunity if you can. It will be absolutely profound, and I can say that it will mark an entirely new era in your life. However, if you're not able to join us in Florida, as you were mentioning, Jayavada, please watch out for the Plllai Center newsletters this week, because we're going to tell you how you can participate in Dr. Pillai's energy and in his initiations through a series of phone calls and also an online program that's been created from his most powerful goddess series that we've done previously. So the invitation is for all. The goddess is the mother of all. She is infinite love, and she wants to embrace all of you into this new era of goddess consciousness. And the steps are simple. Open your doors, invite her, become initiated, and there are different opportunities for initiation, whether you join us in Florida at the Navratri retreat, or whether you join us for the online program and calls, both ways, you truly can start an entirely new era in your life.
Well, I don't know. There's nothing else to say to that. Thank you so much. I'm completely excited now. I hope our folks watching are really getting the energy behind this event and location. I know also Dr. Plllai mentioned coming to the United States on purpose. That's what the goddess wanted, he said. And so I also feel like him being in the United States during this time, it also gives the entire country a boost of what we need for peace and prosperity for the folks here. A lot going on in the United States in conflict. So the goddess is going to be blessing us, and it is the opportunity to be in Dr. Plllai's presence. I've said this before, we don't know when, if, where he will do in-person events. We just know what we have at the very moment, and this is the opportunity to really be with him in the United States if you're more conveniently located to this area. So if you need any assistance, please email us, office@PillaiCenter.com, and do look out for this week the introduction to the new opera, which is being developed as we speak, on how everyone can take advantage of this Navaratri, the 9 nights of the goddess, and be part of this goddess revolution that is starting in this uprising. Thank you again, Mohini, for joining us and bringing this wonderful message from the goddess. Thank you all for tuning in, and we will be in touch. Namaste.